Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode 15 of our Starfield gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So I don't think we have anything on admin notes this evening. So we will skip into our recap, and during last episode we established an outpost. We got some resource extraction up and running, and we used those extracted resources to craft adaptive frames. And in doing so, we gained levels and gained the associated skill points with them. And that was the goal, was to be able to level up quickly. I think we started that episode somewhere around level 28 or 29. And I think we'll jump back in here. And yeah, we started at 28 and we're now level 40. And we'll jump in here and we'll take a closer look at what has happened. Off stream, right after last episode ended, I spent about 27, well, not about, I timed it, 27 minutes going through here and crafting adaptive frames. So I would craft adaptive frames until I ran out of materials. I would exit out. I would immediately turn left. I would sleep for 8 hours. It takes 8 hours here to completely refill the storage that I have. And then I would immediately come right back and craft more adaptive frames. And I did that for 27 minutes. In that 27 minutes, I went from level 32 where we were, or level 31 where we were previously, up to level 40. So in about half an hour, I gained 8 to 9 levels worth of experience. And this is with just the most basic of all outpost setups. You can significantly increase that amount of XP per minute simply by researching outpost modules and gaining larger storage boxes, or simply just adding more storage boxes here and over here to hold your resources, which means you can spend longer crafting at the research bench before you have to go rest. For me, in my personal playthrough, I leveled up to level 50, and that was all I needed to do at that point to get everything that I really was interested in power leveling at the start. Now, there are obviously things that as I go through, I find I would like to put more skill points in, and I can just come back to my outpost and craft some more and level up some more. And that's exactly what this is for. So it's not a long, drawn-out, involved process. It just takes a little time, and it is by far the quickest way to level up. You're not going to be doing quests or missions or anything like that that give you enough XP to level up that fast, other than crafting at an outpost. So now that we've done that, I actually also took the opportunity to go sell all of those crafted resources. So you can see I don't have any in my inventory here. Yeah, I don't have any resources here in my inventory. I took the time to go sell all of that off and took the credits for it. And now you can see that we're up to 1,026,000 credits over here. So it isn't a huge amount of money, but it certainly is. I think it gained me 70-some thousand credits or something like that. So it's an easy way to make credits, and it's the fastest way to level up. So now if you look at our skills, I've got 11 skill points in reserve here waiting to be used, and we need to progress spacesuit design here to level up all of those mods, and we're going to unlock various things here. And the first thing that we're going to, well, we'll actually talk about this when we get back. So now that we've got the levels that we want, we now need to look into doing some research. And to do that, we're going to head back to Alpha Centauri. And actually, we're not. We're going to head to Narian first. And we're going to head back to Crete. And the reason we're going to Crete, we visited this planet right at the very start of our playthrough. And the reason that I'm going to go back to Crete is so I can show you an item that is going to help out while using the research lab. So you can see we've already explored the Crete research lab here. I picked both of these items up, but I sold them without thinking. After a while, this research lab will the enemies will respawn. So, and the items will respawn. So you can come back here and go through it again. We're going to be way over leveled for the enemies that we're going to see in here, and that is perfectly fine. We just want to head through here and quickly get back to a location where I can show you where to pick up an item that you're going to want to pick up and save in your inventory, in your safe or in your ship or somewhere at the lodge or something like that, or if you didn't save it, where you can pick it up again. So you're going to come up here, you're going to enter and continue walking through the hall, and you're going to see the pirates have respawned. But again, we are way over leveled for this. Right through the door, and as we turn the corner here, you're going to see Living 01. Inside here, you have a couple of rooms. The first one, if you come into over here, underneath the bunk is a shielded lab outfit. This has a plus 5% chance of research sudden developments. You're going to see this as we go, and we'll explain more of this. But if you don't have it, or you sold it off, wait for this to respawn, come back here and pick it up. There's also another one, I believe. In here, I'm trying to remember where the blue lab outfit is. There's another one of these lab outfits. Oh, here it is, right here. The blue lab outfit is sitting right here. This is the exact same thing, just gives you another plus 5% chance of research sudden developments. Okay? So having this, you don't have to do it. It's only a 5% additional bonus. But every percentage point helps while you're going through the research process. So having one of these two is certainly useful. So I'm going to head back I'm not going to be able to fast travel because there are enemies around, I'm pretty sure. But let's try. Okay, no, so it is going to let me. So I'm going to head back to... actually, I didn't want to head to the lodge. When I get here, I'll want to make sure that I've gotten all of the resources off of the Star Eagle. Let's head to the Star Eagle here real quick, and we'll just make sure that we've gotten all of the resources out of our cargo hold. So we're going to just get up inside the ship and check our hold real quick. Okay, we don't have any resources in here. So we're all clear. One thing that we do want to also check, I apologize, is our aid items. We want to check and see if we have any of 2 aid items. The first is Neurojack. Neurojack is the better of the 2. Research projects require fewer resources for 10 minutes, and you have a 50% chance of research sudden developments for 10 minutes. And the others are Synapse Alpha. And these say the research projects require fewer resources for 10 minutes. You want as many of these as you can. And those are the only 2 aid items that are going to help you here. So now we're going to head to the lodge. We're going to quickly go upstairs and check the safe in our room and just verify that we don't have any resources or aid items inside this safe before we head downstairs. I don't think we do, but we just want to check, and we do not. So now we're going to head downstairs. Okay, so a couple of things to think about. The first is that you want to equip your shielded lab outfit. This is going to up our chance of sudden developments. We also want to check and make sure how many Neurojacks we have. We've got 7. And how many Synapse Alphas? We have 8. So we have a good amount of them available to us to use. It's important that you have some because you're never going to have all of the resources that you need. While you're going through the research tree here, there's always going to be resources that you haven't found, you haven't picked up, you haven't looted anywhere else, you haven't purchased, and you're going to have to go to other places here in Jemison to purchase them. And you want to make sure that once that timer runs out, you're able to refresh it. The last thing that we're going to do is go into our skills here. Under special projects, you have rank 1, you can research experimental projects at the research lab. If you look at the other ranks, you can craft rare manufactured components at an industrial workbench. You can craft exotic manufactured components at an industrial workbench. These are things where you can craft higher, more expensive items using other items that you've crafted already to make higher tiers of items that obviously grant more experience and they sell for more. So the really in-depth XP generating uber mega meta XP per hours have these 2 unlocked so that you can craft exotic manufactured components utilizing your intra-system cargo links and your fabricators to get everything ready for you just to go and craft a really high dollar, high XP item. We don't need any of that. All we need is the ability to research experimental projects. So we need to spend 1 point just to unlock that. As for the rest of it, we don't have to do much here. We can hold off on putting anything, or actually we do need to up our spacesuit mods. I forgot about this because we need to research the superior and cutting edge spacesuit mods. You don't have to unlock rank 4 if you don't want to. All that does is that occasionally it doesn't cost resources to be able to craft a mod. That's a little different than rank 4 here, where we had superior, cutting edge, and master level. For spacesuit designs, you have superior, cutting edge. There is no master level on spacesuit mods. So you don't need to unlock rank 4 here. We've already unlocked rank 1, so to get to rank 2, we need to craft 5 spacesuit helmet or pack mods. And again, this is pretty easy. I'm going to pick up everything out of this box, out of my resources box. And now I can go over here to the spacesuit workbench and I can craft on and off 5 different mods. So if you look at some of these mod slots, you can see that what these require as far as the materials. So no mods, you need sealant and aluminum. We have aluminum sitting back at our base. For some of these others, some of them are going to be pretty expensive, right? So looking through these, some of them are pretty expensive. So you want to look for items that are going to be low cost. And for some of that, some of the easier ones to get, and we'll start looking at some of them. Ballistic shielding just needs fiber and cosmetics, which is fairly easy to get. Fiber and no mod on this are going to, ballistic shielding and no mod are going to use the same fiber to craft. But we have a lot of sealant, cosmetic, and fiber are easy to get. So some of these others you can look at and you can see how many components of each we have, and see which ones would be the best to craft here. So it looks like right now probably ballistic shielding and no mod would be the easiest. So I'm just going to go to ballistic shielding, and then I'm going to go to no mod. And that crafts 2. That's 3. That's 4. And that's 5. So now we can go back into our skills just like we had been doing previously, and we can rank that up. And now we need to do 15 mods. Here. So now we can just work back and forth between these. Okay, so that's 12, 13, 14, 15. And now we can rank up the last time that we need to on our spacesuit design. And again, we don't necessarily need to unlock this one here. Now we can research and craft all of the mods. So remember, we did put our 1 point into special projects as well. So now we can start looking at the research lab. And I'm going to open up the research lab and kind of explain how it works, and then we'll actually go through researching some of this. Because we're going to take our aid item that's going to up our status here once we do that. So for now, we're getting an additional bonus out of our lab coat, but once we take the aid item, you will see the additional bonus that we're going to get. But I don't want to waste that timer while I'm explaining how the research lab works. So the two that we're going to focus on are the equipment and the weapon and the weaponry tabs. If you click on the equipment tab, you can see that Helmet Mods 1 is available for us, and you can see under required materials that we need tungsten, cosmetic, and polymer. That's going to unlock Helmet Mods 2 for us, and there are no required skills needed for this. It's telling us right now that because we have these items in our inventory, that all of these crafting materials are available to us right now. So we can start and complete this research project right now without any more materials. Spacesuit Mods 1, you can see, needs Spacesuit Design Rank 1. We've already got that. We're up to Rank 3. That's going to unlock Spacesuit Mods 2, and you can see, again, for polytextile, copper, and cosmetics, we have all of that material in our inventory. Pack mods, again, same things, but you can see we don't have any of the aluminum here, right? And we know that we have aluminum and iron readily available to us. So I am going to go into my inventory and I'm going to store all of these resources. And now I can head back to my outpost real quick and just load up on copper and iron, which I know I am missing. This way I don't have to go purchase them. I could go over to UC Distribution and just purchase iron and aluminum if I would like. I've got over 1 million credits. However, these items are right here available to us. All I have to do is fast travel once, pick them up, head over to my ship, land back and walk over there to them. Now, I actually walked in here instead of going over and picking the items themselves. Okay, so if you go to any of these, you can see that there's 150 aluminum in here. I can just pick all that up, and you see it encumbers me. Not a big deal. I know I'm going to be out of copper too, because I used every bit that was in my inventory as well as in these crates to level up. So I'm going to go pick up copper here. Or iron, I mean. And now I know I've got enough of those materials to craft everything I need. So again, can't fast travel because I'm overloaded, but it doesn't really matter. All I need to do is make it back to my ship. I'm going to keep that in my inventory. As I travel back to the lodge. And this is the great thing about using the lodge to do your crafting. Not only, like I mentioned last time, do you have a storage box here that's unlimited, but it's right next to the research lab, and you can fast travel, or you can travel to it from your ship easily by just spawning right outside the door. So we were looking at equipment. Now you can see down here all of these materials are available. Now as you start crafting, you're going to start running out of materials, and once we do that, we'll kind of explain how the track project button works. But for now, all we're going to do is illustrate how this works to start with. So once you click on it, you're able to give the amount of resources that you need. So right now you can input how much you want to apply toward this research project. In this case, we need 3 tungsten. We have 58 in our inventory. Cosmetics, you can see that we have 5 in our inventory, and we need to donate 2. And polymer, we have 8 in our inventory, and we need to donate 3. Now this is where something called overflow comes into play. And this helps you decide which of these materials do I want to provide to the research first. Sometimes when you donate a material to a research project, it will complete that line, and it will also give you free items toward the others. So even if I don't have any cosmetics in my inventory, if I complete tungsten, it might give me 1, it might even give me both cosmetics, and then I don't have to donate any cosmetics to the research. I've completely filled up the tungsten requirement, and it gave me an overflow as a sudden development into another material. So how you want to play on this is, I have a lot of tungsten. I can afford to give 3 tungsten here, and then if another helmet research requires more tungsten, I have more tungsten in my inventory. Cosmetic and polymer I don't have a lot of. So donate to tungsten first, and if you get that overflow from a sudden development, it might automatically cross these 2 off or fill these 2 up, and you don't have to use them out of your inventory, and you can use those for future crafting later. So that's an important thing to realize, is that always donate to the research material that you have the most of. So that way you can possibly overflow into the others that you might be short on, and that will keep you from having to go buy cosmetics or polymers if it's given it to you for free. All right, so in spacesuit mods, I need 8 polytextiles, I only have 2. So I can't even complete that. Copper, I've got 119, and cosmetic, I have 5. So I'm going to donate to copper first, and maybe it will overflow to polytextile and give me 6 free ones. And then the 2 in my inventory can complete that. All right, so that's kind of the goal here. Always donate to the ones that you have the most of first. So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, we want to take an aid item. Now again, we talked about Neurojack here, and we talked about Synapse Alpha previous. So what Synapse Alpha does is those numbers, like we needed 3 tungsten or something like that, it might lower that to 2. If you need 8, it might lower that to 6 or to 5 or something like that. So having Synapse Alpha is always going to benefit you. Neurojack has that same thing. You're going to need fewer resources. However, it also has a 50% chance of research sudden developments. And that's the overflow that I was just talking about. So 50% of the time that you donate a resource, it's going to automatically overflow into the others. That's a huge way to save resources, is by having Neurajack active. So what I do is I use Neurajack until it runs out, and then I switch to Synapse Alpha, or you can go buy more Neurajack from Neon. There's a specific vendor in Neon that you can go to and buy more. But 70 minutes should be more than enough for us to craft all of the research items that we're going to do. So I'm going to take a Neurajack. Okay, if we go back, we can look at our status. You can see that we have a 10-minute timer here that's going to start. So now, again, looking at our timer, you can check it at any time inside of your status. So now we're going to go in here and start donating to these projects as much as we can. So we're going to donate tungsten. We're going to donate 3. Okay, and on that one, we did not get any overflow at all. Okay, so now I'm going to try polymer. That's my next highest. Okay, and see, we got overflow. We got a sudden development. It gave us +2 cosmetics. That's all we needed on cosmetics, so it completed the whole research project. And we did not have to use, you see, we still have 5 cosmetics in our inventory. So now that unlocks helmet mods 2, and now we start getting into more different types of crafting materials. So again, the one with the most is adhesive. We got an overflow of a bunch of these. So now you can see it completed those 2. So 0 wire. We got another overflow. And now titanium. Okay, so that one's done. Now helmet mods 3. So here we're getting to the point where we don't even have any of these materials. So I'm going to start with tungsten. Okay, we didn't get any overflow. Calamite. This is an exotic resource that we picked up around the artifacts that we pick up. And we got some overflows here. So still, we got 1 overflow here, but we're still going to be out of high tensile spidrions here. So polymers. And we didn't get any there. So we're out of polymers, so we can't complete this one without picking up more items. So now we just go on to the next one and start working our way through these. Okay, no overflows. And we got 6 out of the 7 polytextiles. So we can use 1 more here. Spacesuit mods, so the most we have is adhesive. And we didn't get any overflows. That was unfortunate. Positron batteries, nothing there either. Okay, so we did get some overflows there. And we need 3 more polytextiles that we don't have. We've only got 1. And we didn't get any overflows there. Pack mods. Aluminum. Beryllium next. Got some overflows. We need mag pressure tanks. Okay, and now here, just going through the inventories, the sealant we have the most of. That got us overflows. Beryllium. More overflows. And that completed the research project. So we donated sealant and beryllium and got polymer, monopropellant, and zero-G gimbals all for free. Okay, that's the importance of the Neurajack 50% and the plus 5% that we are getting from the lab coat that we're wearing. Okay, so amino acids. Beryllium. Tower grade rheostats. And no overflows. So now we're going to be just about out. Okay, so now that we're out, we can go to these ones that are not completed. And you see we need andesite wafers and high tensile spid iron or spidrions as well as polymers. Now the track project button comes into play. What it's going to do is say everything that's in this list, and this is kind of unfortunate, so you have to pay a little bit of attention here. If you hit R, it puts a blue magnifying glass icon next to every material that is required for this research project. Unfortunately, it's also going to put it next to the items that you've already completed. But the way to tell yourself the difference is when you're looking at your inventory, if you don't have any of it, then you can compare that with what is in the shop that you're trying to buy from and just pick up those items. Arguably, though, if it's got a blue magnifying glass symbol next to it and you see it in the shop, just buy it. It doesn't matter if you have additional of these materials that you've already turned in. You're going to have a lot of credits by this point, and you can afford buying all of these things. So now just go into every one of them and track project. And that's all we can research here under equipment. So now let's go into weaponry. So make sure that your timer is still active. Still got 3 minutes and 40 seconds here. And start doing the same thing here. Okay, that completed that. And again, straightforward, just do the, or donate the materials that you have the most of in order as you go through this. So here, we're hoping we get an overflow because we don't have any polymers. We did, and we got 4 polymers for free, so that's going to complete it. And we got quite a bit out of that, but we still need more polymers for that one. We're already tracking polymer. And we got our 2 chlorosilanes here. And now I'm going to back out and check my status. Got 2 minutes left. And for the most part, all of these are things that we have just picked up. while we were walking around. Okay, so we're out of vanadium there, so we're going to track that project. Okay, let's check our status. Okay, still got a minute left. And we got all the titanium out of that. Okay, so that is it. We're going to need more tantalum, so we want to track that project. So all the ones that are empty, you want to look down here at required materials and make sure that they all have the exclamation point next to them so that you're tracking them all. Okay, we do. We are going to... Yeah, and you can, if you would like, do the exact same thing for outpost development. What this is going to let you do is craft higher tiers of extractors, which is, again, if you have limited space in your outpost on a resource node and you can't build more regular extractors, upgrading them to higher tiers can get those materials faster, which means you have to sleep less, which means you can level up faster. Manufacturing and that sort of stuff is going to start opening up fabricators and that sort of stuff. Your decoration, horticulture, domestication. Horticulture and domestication allow you to grow plants and to breed animals that you can then extract their materials from. Bones, which are structural, sinews, you know, and stuff like that that act as sealants and that sort of stuff. I don't normally, I mean, I have done this in my personal playthrough, but I don't really expend resources to up these two to get those materials when I can just as easily just go buy them. Power generation is important. It again allows you to craft upgraded tiers of the various power generation items. So if you have limited space because you've got a bunch of buildings in your outpost and you need to up your power generation, you can research higher tiers of these. Robots and outpost defense serve a couple of the same purposes in that you can get defense robots and turrets to protect your outpost from raiders. Now, the more high tech and the more expensive materials you gather or store at your outpost, the higher the chance that you're going to get raided by pirates and that sort of stuff. So if you've really gone all out and you're getting really rare and exotic and high-priced items sent to a central outpost to craft for XP, you're going to want to invest in some outpost defenses for you. Otherwise, you'll come back and you will find that your storage has all been destroyed. Because raiders have come in and stolen all of those items. And you're going to have to rebuild things at your facility. So there's also storage upgrades. So those small crates that we have there to store iron and aluminum, you can upgrade those to double size crates and store twice as much in one crate and that sort of stuff. You have the same research projects for aid materials that you can craft yourself, as well as food items. Now, even in my personal playthrough, I have never gone into the research trees for these because food items here just don't do a whole lot, in my opinion. They're not nearly as useful as some other games that Bethesda have that has food items in them and what they can do. However, you can go really far into these and unlock some fairly in-depth foods, but it requires a lot of crafting to make those foods and a lot of materials. It's not as easy as it was back in Skyrim, you know, picking up, you know, vegetable soup or something like that to gain an XP bonus. It's not nearly that simple anymore in here. So even in my personal playthrough, I don't focus on these. It's really just these two that are important. The outpost materials can help you level up faster using your outposts, and these two I just simply avoid. But feel free. You can certainly go through and research all of those things if you would like. So now that I am out, I'm going to store all of my resources in here. And again, I'm doing this because I don't really care if I buy more amino acids. Even though I don't need to donate any more amino acids, I've got so much, so many credits that I don't need to worry about what I'm buying. I'm just going to go buy everything that I can that is available to me at the various resource centers here on Jemison. And one of the first places to go is always to UC distribution.
Cool spacesuit.
Another location that you're going to be able to pick up crafting materials is in Outland. Outland is more of your spacesuit-based materials, and sometimes they have what you're looking for and sometimes they don't. If you go to resources, you can see that more of your suit-based mods are in here. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up all of these, even though, like I say, I probably don't need all of these. Doesn't really matter.
Be careful out there.
And then UC distribution is going to be generic. It's going to have both your low-level crafting resources that you need for the first few tiers out of all your research projects.
If you experience any issues in your dealings with the distribution center, let us know. We're always striving to improve. Welcome to UC Distribution. Something I can do for you?
But they also do have some of the higher
certainly.
tier items as well. So some of these I know I'm not going to need. And see, high tensile spidrions, I know I needed a bunch of those, and that's a unique resource. So like I say, there are high level resources in here as well. I don't think I need any more iridium. Most of the minerals like these, I don't need. So I'm going to buy just one round of all of the minerals. After that, I'm going to be focused on just the more rare and unique items
Come back if you need
that they
something
have.
else.
So what I normally do is, instead of going back immediately, I take a rest here, and you need to get at least 48 hours. So I take a rest here and immediately go back and see what's available to me. And I do this 3 times normally. some of the higher tier unique resources, which is where we are in our crafting. We're normally at the 3rd level mods, or at least the 2nd level mods. Those come in fairly small packages. You only get 2, 3, 4 at a time, and you may need 6 or 7 to be able to complete a research project. So instead of going back right now, walking all the way back there, when I'm probably overloaded, and realizing I'm still 2 items short on something, I normally just spend my time here for a couple of times at least before I head back. It's easy, just takes a minute.
I'm afraid, due to recent legislative action, I'm no longer able to allocate ships. I can, however, deal in general goods. Welcome to UC Distribution. Something I can do for you? Yes, of course. Please, take a look.
I'm not going to take any more beryllium. And see, those high tensile spid rounds only come in 2. The microsecond regulators only come in 2. The semi-metal wafers are only 1. So this is why I normally wait. And again, the minerals, I'm not going to pick up any more of them. I don't think I need any 0G wire either, but
You're always welcome back. If you don't
I
mind
wish
a bit of a
the
wait.
track project would only highlight the items in the project that you no longer have available to you. But I understand why it doesn't, because some of the same materials are used in multiple projects. So you may need 10 of a certain type of material, you have 5 in your
If there's
inventory.
anything you need,
That's not
I can't
enough.
imagine being
So the game's going to
Yes, by
highlight
all
everything
means, have
just
a
to
look.
make sure you stock up. Okay, and see, microsecond regulators, there were only 2 of them over at UC Distribution. Here you can buy them in stocks of 9. So that's why Outland being here is quite useful, especially for your suit-based mods. Most of the things in here are rare, exotic, and uncommon stuff, but you do have common materials in here. But this is the place to come to buy some of those more pricey, higher
See
tier
you
items. And now while I'm here, I'm just going to rest one more time. Repeat this one more time, and then I can head back and see where I'm short. Normally, after I head back this time, I'll have completed a good number of the projects. And I'll normally be left with 2, maybe 3 outstanding projects, and then I can just write the missing materials down. I can just take a quick note of exactly what I'm missing, and then I can move back and forth here between these and try and find them. And if you don't find them, just rest and see if they'll show up. There are some items that aren't going to show up at either one of these 2. And you may have to head off-world to Aquila. There is a mineral vendor on Aquila that sells almost,
only as
or
safe as your
possibly
equipment
sells
out there.
almost every mineral.
I would never dream of selling some. Yes, by
So
all
you may have
means,
to
a
go over
look.
there for certain mineral types and that sort of stuff. And again, so
Good
far
luck
I've used
on all
just
your
under
adventures.
19,000 credits, it looks like. And that's a negligible amount out of my 1,000,000 credits that I still have left. This is why I don't worry too much on this first trip
Welcome to UC Distribution.
about knowing exactly
Something
what
I
I'm
can
short
do for
on.
you?
I just buy everything that's marked.
Yes, of course. Please, take a look.
Okay, I don't think I need any more of these, but I'll pick them up anyway. I don't think I need, like I say, I'm gonna look a little stupid if I'm not buying any of these minerals and I actually need some. But they're easy to pick up. So I'm not gonna, well, you know, now that I say that, I'm just gonna buy them. I made the whole speech about having a whole bunch of credits. I'm not gonna take the chance. Okay. So now I'm overloaded. Not gonna be able to fast travel.
Back to it then.
But it doesn't, again, doesn't really matter.
Service with a smile. That's the UC
So
way.
here I need to head back to the lodge. And again, me being overloaded and out of oxygen, you can see it's decreasing my health. I'm going to take this opportunity to use a couple of med packs. I need to utilize 100 of them to up my health skill. This is a free way to take damage that you can then heal with a med pack. This is actually the quickest way to use med packs. If you go buy 100 of them, you can just run around overloaded and use your med packs to heal you up as you're going. It's the quickest way to level up the medicine skill. Because see, to unlock the last tier of it, I need to use healing items 100 times while I'm wounded. So if you are going for that skill, that's the quickest way to do it. Just go to one of the pharmacies, especially the one that's down in the well, and you can buy a whole bunch of med packs at once. Okay, so now here I'm going to, again, before I start my aid item, I'm going to look and see what, if anything, I'm missing. So, helmet mods. I don't have any indicite wafers. I'm going to need more high tensile spidrions, and I've got plenty of polymer. So I'm out of these two. I'm going to hope that I get an overflow for the indicite wafers. So I'm writing down the ones that I am short. Spacesuit mods 2. I've got plenty of polytextile now. 3. I've got plenty of monopropellant. And I've got enough biosuppressant left for this, but I might be a little short, so I'm going to add that to the list. Got plenty of polymer left. So I did need more vanadium, so good thing I picked that up. I've got enough now in my inventory. Got enough tantalum, titanium, and polymer to do this. So I'm only going to be short 2 items. I'm going to be short high tensile spidrions and the wafers that are back here. So that's enough for me to utilize, and the indicite wafers. I'm going to hope that I get an overflow from polymers here that will maybe finish these 2. So now we know that we're really close to having everything. I'm going to take a second Neurojack. Okay, I'm going to let it take effect. I'm going to make sure that it shows up in our status. Got 10 minutes left. And let's see how lucky we get here. So helmet mods, I can submit polymers. And I did not get any overflows, so that was unfortunate. You're not going to get any overflows if you don't submit or you don't submit the full amount. So I'm going to be short on those two. I'm going to have to go purchase them. Poly textiles, not a problem. Okay, now I've got Spacesuit Mods 3 that's unlocked. Okay, I'm getting unlucky with the overflows. Oh, hold on. I did not pick up all of my items here either. I was like, why don't I have any calamite? Okay, so I got the Indicite wafers on that one. Okay, still short on some lubricant. So I'm going to add that to the list. Got an overflow, but only one. Okay, oh, that's all I needed. So now I'm just short on these two. So high tensile spidroins here. Sorry, I've been saying that wrong the entire time. And lubricant. And Indicite wafers. So those three are on my list. It's now going here. Polymers have plenty. Have vanadium. And now here. Tantalum. Titanium. Polymers. That's going to unlock Muzzle Mods 3. Getting fairly unlucky with the overflows here. Not getting many. It is a 50-50 chance, but still I would have expected more than this. I only got one terbium out of that. Okay, that completed all of them. And again, we're just doing the same exact things. We're just concentrating on the ones that we have the most of first. Okay, did get some overflows there. And there. Okay, so not a whole lot here, and we can't complete any of these. And we can't complete any of these either. So looks like we're out. So let's just go donate. Oh, we did get an overflow on that one, but not enough. So let's just donate everything that we have. Okay, so we did get some polymers. I didn't think that was possible, but I guess it is. We can get an overflow even when we don't donate the full amount. So now we'll go in here and do the same thing that we had previously and just make sure that all of the things we're missing are already marked and they're on our list. So lubricant, yes. And then in weaponry, we have a few more. So here we need terbium. We need uranium. And I need to track that project. Here we need europium. We're already tracking terbium. We need titanium. And more polymer. I'm a little surprised about polymer that I ran out, actually. And we need lubricant. That's another one that I'm a little surprised I ran out of. So, okay. So now we have our list, and there's going to be more because receiver mods, because battery or magazine and battery mods has a number 3, receiver mods has 2 and 3. So there's probably going to be some more after we're done. So now looking at our status, we only had 2 minutes and 47 seconds anyway, so should be back to pick up some more items, and then take another Neurojack and go from there. And I can actually speed this up a little bit by just fast traveling to the Mass District. I went the long way around. Should have cut through the middle one over here. So again, we'll just check Outland, UC Distribution, and we'll see what we can pick up.
If there's... I can't imagine being stranded out. Yes, by all means, have a look.
We don't need those. We don't need that. Don't need that. So nothing here that we can use.
Good luck on all your adventures.
But we know he does sell some of the things that we need. The high tensile spidroins, we know he sells. He just doesn't have them this time. And this is where your search for materials is going to become a little bit more involved.
How you doing?
Because you're going to have to start waiting more to get items to show up in the inventories. Because now you're looking for specific things.
Welcome to UC Distribution. Oh, well, certainly.
So I do need europium. I don't need lead. I do need lubricant. I do need uranium, and I do need terbium.
You're always welcome back, if you don't mind a bit of a wait.
And the nice thing about doing this here is that it's 2 to 1 on the hours, so I only have to wait 24 local hours to get the 48 hours for the shops to reset. And I have 2 really good vendors, basically right across from each other. Now, it's important to remember that what we're doing here is focusing on the research. We're going to unlock all of the research mods for our weapons and our spacesuits. So that way, when we open up the weapon workbench or the spacesuit workbench, we have all of the mods available to us to craft. That does not mean that we're going to have the materials to be able to craft those mods. That just
Both
means
items
that
may
we
require
are
multiple
going to
levels
have
of
all of
approval.
them
Welcome to
unlocked
UC
and
distribution.
available to craft.
Yes.
So then
of
once you
course.
start
Please
looking at
take a
what
look.
you want to mod on your spacesuits or your weapons, then you have to come back and pick up more possible resources that you are missing. Right? So it's not just a once we've gotten all of these, we're done buying resources thing. You are possibly going to need more to do the actual crafting of the mods.
Back to it then.
All in all, though, when you think about how much time it's taking to do this,
I
we're
would
going to
never
have
dream of selling
all of the
some. Yes, by all
research
means, have a look.
unlocked for all of these items in under 2 hours. And sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on the list here. So again, doesn't have anything here that we need.
Be careful out there.
So to be able to unlock all of the mods through the research tab in that short amount of time is really negligible in the overall time you're going to spend on the game, especially for the increases in damage and or protection and or maneuverability with your jump pack that these mods are going to give you. And you're going to see how that works once we finish up this research and we get into adding the mods. Looks like we have most everything except for the high tensile materials, and this is the place to get them here.
If
So
there's anything you need, please. I can't imagine. Please do. I hope we
and
have
I
something
think I
that
only need
suits
2
you.
more.
Get it?
And he doesn't have them again. Yeah. So I just need to keep checking back here. I don't have to go across the street anymore,
See
I
you
don't
around.
think. Because I think the other 6 items I've already gotten. The problem with the high tensile one is that I've already expended all of the turn-ins for the other items on that. So I'm not going to get any overflows on it. I'm going to have to find at least a couple more. And then there may be more of these that are going to unlock on the level 3s for the other 2 weapon mod slots, but we'll see. This will be the last time that I do it here, because you get the idea, and then we will go back and see where we are overall with the crafting. Or with the research, I mean. Because I know sitting in a chair watching a timer tick down isn't really engaging gameplay for a live stream, so I certainly get it. So hopefully, cross our fingers, he's got what we need.
You're only as safe. I would never dream of so. Yes, by all means, have a look.
Come on, Cornelius. And he doesn't. Okay. So we're going to head back here.
Good luck on all your adventures.
Let's see where I am on my carry weight. So I am overloaded. And this is again just because when you're overloaded you can't fast travel. But the alternate key on your jump pack with that boost forward really helps you maneuver around even when you're overloaded. Okay, so I'm going to pick up these items again because we do have some mod slots that are not unlocked yet. So again, before we go in there, you need to make sure you take your Neurojack. I always just check one more time to make sure it's active, and it is. So here we're going to be short on both of these. We don't have either of those, and we can't get them without buying them, so you just have to wait around. Lubricant, we now have plenty of. Okay, so Helmet Mods 3, we're not going to be able to unlock right now, so we're going to be short on some crafting of some helmet mods. So here, muzzle mods, we have terbium. So all of our muzzle mods are unlocked. We have uranium. That unlocks the 3rd level of these. So toxins, we got plenty of. Good, we got some overflows. Lead, got plenty of, even more overflow, and we got a lot. So now just one adhesive and we're done. So we got pretty lucky on that one. Okay, that filled up titanium. And receiver mods. Okay, good. Titanium, we might be short. Nope, we got it. Nope, we're too short on titanium to get that. So now the only things we're short on are titanium. And I really wish we had those two. I can go buy 2, I think, before Neurojack runs out. Go over here and buy at least 2 titanium.
Keep your nose clean.
Bulk items may require multiple
And we can
levels
see
of
what it's going to
approval
take to
and can
unlock
take
level
up to
2 and
several
level
weeks for an
3
official
of
response. We apologize for any
that
delay.
mod section.
Welcome to UC Distribution. Yes, of course.
Okay, good. We got enough.
Right. Come back if you need something else.
Fast travel back to the lodge. Good. Still have 7 minutes left on the Neurojack. Okay, that unlocks receiver mods too. Okay, got quite a bit there. Hope we get an overflow to polymer. We did. I don't think it's going to be enough. No. Oh, we got an overflow, and we're still 2 left. Okay. So now, I think all we have polymer here that we need. And that's it in the weapon mods, and polymer's easy to get. And then here we still need the andesite wafers and the high tensile spidroids. So we will go take, and I think that's it, right? Yeah, because receiver mods is going to unlock level 3 once we get more polymer. So let's see if we can get back here in time. To pick up some more polymer. This is an easy thing to get. Should have it at UC distribution.
I used to be an actuary. Now look at me.
Please, if you experience any issues in your... Welcome to UC Distribution. I hope we have what you need.
And they do.
You're always welcome back. If you...
And again, we just don't know if we need these or not because these are unlocking new levels of the mod that we never saw the ingredients for. Or else we would have bought these all at the same time. Still got 5 minutes left. Okay, so there's no level 3 for receiver mods. So we've unlocked all of the weapon mods. We have unlocked all except for 1 level of the helmet mods. And we need just these last 2. These are not easy items to find. They are both andesite, I believe, are exotic, and the high tensile spidroids are uniques. So they are fairly rare to come across in a vendor. But we will take one more shot here. So bear with me while I take a couple of more rests, and we'll see if we can't finish these last 2 off. And I don't care if Neurojack wears off while I'm here. I'm probably not going to find them on the first rest anyway. I don't think they were here, and we haven't rested again. Yeah, nothing here. So we'll just take a couple of rests and see if they
you
show
around.
up. We've seen them once before already, so we know that they're here. So it's just, how lucky are we? If we don't get them in a couple of rests here, then we'll go back and we will just modify our weapons and our pack and our spacesuit, and we will kind of look at the mods for our helmet, but we'll wait on it. So yeah, they're in an hour and a half of time. We have almost completely unlocked all of the weapon and spacesuit research mods. So it doesn't take much time at all to unlock all of them. You just need to spend a little bit of time hunting down some resources, and that's really not that
I
hard.
would never dream it. Yes, by all means, have a look.
But it's much easier to okay, so we don't have either of them here. It's much easier, actually, we do
Please
want to stock
I hope
up
we
here
have something that
also.
suits you.
We can buy more of all three of the med packs.
Be careful out there.
But it is much quicker and easier to unlock all of the mods first before you start looking at upgrading your weapons or spacesuits. Because if you spend resources to add a mod and then you, because that's the only one that's available, then you go around using it for a while, you come back a little later, do some more researching, unlock some more stuff, and do it again, and you have to replace that mod, you just ended up wasting some resources. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to spend your time and resources to do this piecemeal. Go ahead and block out a set of time and take a couple hours of gameplay and unlock everything and mod everything that you want. And then all of your mods are available. And then as you get higher tiered weapons,
If there's any, I can't
you
imagine.
can add those
Please
same
do.
mods
I hope we have something
onto
that
those
suits you.
weapons.
Get it?
Okay, so there's our Indicite wafers. So now we just need the high tensile spidroins. So we got one. Actually, let's check
Please
on
do.
his med packs.
See you around.
Now we need 3 of these. The last couple of times I think we got them, there were only 2. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping we get lucky enough to get all of them. But we'll see. Okay, cross our fingers, chat.
You're only... I would never dream of selling some... Yes, by all means, have a look.
Nope. Last time.
Be careful out there.
All we need is that one more item. But this will be the last time. Then we'll go back and we'll start modding our weapons and our spacesuit, and we'll just kind of hold off on the helmet for a bit. Or our jump pack and our spacesuit. And our weapons, and we'll hold off on the helmet. I'll do that off stream. It was funny, we saw them 2 or 3 in a row, and I bought them all when we were there earlier, and now we can't seem to find them. But like I say, these are exotic and unique crafting materials, so they're going to show up only rarely in the vendor inventories.
If there's... I can't imagine being struck. Yes, by all means.
Nope. Alright, so we are done. We're going to miss out on one of the helmet mods,
Good luck
but
on all your adventures.
that'll be it. So now we're going to mod our weapons, spacesuit, and pack. And for that, we're going to talk about, or just refresh your memory about how the weapons work. Okay? So remember, there are levels of weapon that you can pick up or that you can buy. So you have calibrated, you have, I'm looking around to see if we have any more. We don't have it, but there are 4 levels of, or 5 levels actually, of weapons and armor, and those levels get unlocked as your experience level goes up. So right now we are at level 40, and we will actually go over to the residential district to illustrate this. Because the residential district has Centaurian Arsenal right over here.
You know, I'm sure you already know. Please, take a look.
Okay, so for the weapons here, you can see now you can see the different versions. The regular version of anything is just the name. Then you have calibrated. Then you have refined. Then you have advanced. And we probably won't have any superior here. We won't. Superior, I think, only unlocks after level 50. And then you have different descriptions in front. You have professionals. You have modified. You have assassins. All that means is the type of mods that come pre-installed on it. But for instance, let's see if we can find one here. Here's an advanced drum beat. Actually, I'm just going to try and find, yeah, let's see. So we have a refined Beowulf. We have an advanced drum beat. Do we have a refined drum beat? We don't. We have an advanced Solstice. We don't have any just between the two. So the mods are going to affect your damage as well here, especially on this one. So I was looking to see if we have 2 that were unmodified that just had the traits on them. So here's modified advanced drum beat, and here's advanced drum beat. So the advanced drum beat is 25 physical damage here. You can see that the modified advanced ups that to 59, and that damage is coming from the semi-automatic trait. They're both advanced, which is which determines the base level damage, and then the mods modify that base level damage. So if you had a refined drumbeat, the base level damage may only be 22. So now then if you modify it by putting the semi-automatic mod on it, instead of getting 59, you might only get 55 or 54 or something like that. So the advanced weapons are the highest base damage that you find once you unlock level 40. So if you put these mods on a refined version of the weapon or a calibrated version of the weapon, you can certainly do that. However, it's better just to level yourself up to get advanced, which is not the highest level. Superior is the highest level, but you don't find those. They're really rare to find those being sold or in loot crates. So that way you have the highest base damage to modify on top of. All right, so then if you're looking to try and modify a weapon, you want to go find an advanced version of that weapon. Need to get out of here first. You want to go find an advanced version of that weapon to try and modify with your mods. That way you're not modifying a refined one, then you find an advanced version later and you have to redo all the mods again. And again, you just end up wasting resources. So get the highest versions of that weapon, the advanced version of whatever weapon or spacesuit that you want to modify, and then put your mods on it. And that's why I've been collecting advanced weapons as we went. And I've got a few stored here in my ship, I believe. So I don't have any here. I think they're already in my inventory. Because, yeah, these are just regular calibrated and refined versions of them. I thought I had left them in there, but I might have already pulled them out. Okay, so I do have the advanced Grendel here that I'm going to modify. The Hunter Wolf is the Beowulf version. And I did find a mag sniper laying on the ground. This is the highest base damage sniper rifle. It takes some getting used to when you use it. And then there's an anti-personnel Beowulf that has plus 10% damage against human targets. So the Hunter Wolf is plus 30 damage against aliens, and the anti-personnel Beowulf is plus 10% damage against humans. So those are the ones that I'm going to modify. The Grendel I'm obviously going to modify, and the hard target I'm going to modify. I don't have the advanced or the boosted hard target to be able to do it, so I'm going to, in the interest of not making you guys sit around while I travel the galaxy trying to find advanced versions of the weapons to mod, I'm just going to mod the weapons that I have. Once I get off stream, I can go find those other weapons and explain that to you guys later on. But for now, we've got the base weapons that I prefer to use. I talked about this earlier. The type of build that I'm going for, and let's actually, because we did pick up the Indicite wafers, so yes, we have enough. So we're gonna hope we get an overflow and complete that one. So I'm gonna take one more Neurajack. Make sure it's running. It is. So that 50% chance of research sudden developments is what we're looking at here. And see when we donate the andesite wafers if we get an overflow here or not. And we didn't. So unlucky. Unlucky. Okay, so now let's go look at our weapon workbench here. We've picked up all of our crafting materials, and we're going to start with my the sniper rifle that I use for single target high damage non-boss enemies, and that is the hard target. This comes in a boosted variant, which has a higher base damage that you can then modify. It's a little bit different in the... It becomes a lot harder to find the upper versions of it. The refined, advanced versions of it, especially with this and the mag sniper. The higher versions of this at advanced only unlock at level 70, I believe. Or something like that. It's incredibly high to unlock higher versions of these. So even in my normal playthrough, I'm perfectly good with the modified hard, or with a boosted hard target. Here I'm going to modify this one, and remember our damage is now 128. Alright, so if I look at the different barrel options and what these things can do, you can see our damage stats over here. I've got the standard barrel. The stabilizing barrel, you can see I don't have its dimmed out. That's because I don't have lubricant. I'm out of lubricant. But this would give me a increase in accuracy and recoil control at the cost of aim down sight speed while standing still. So over the standard issue barrel, though, you can look at the accuracy. The accuracy doesn't change. Okay, over the standard barrel. The long barrel, however, does. It increases the range by 20%, and it increases the accuracy by 0.8%. The fluted barrel does the exact same thing as the long barrel. However, all it does is reduce the mass. Okay, which means that it's easier to carry around. Right? And the one thing that's not mentioned on here is ADS speed. I don't normally care about ADS speed very much when I'm doing these things. And then again, the bull barrel is increased mass. So out of all three of these barrel mods, the stabilizing barrel I'm not going to use. It's going to be between these three. They all have the same accuracy and the same range. The difference is the mass, and I'm going to take the lowest mass option here. Now if I go up here and I look, you can see I have plenty of the materials needed to install it. So now I just go down the list. So now looking for a laser. I don't have enough for the recon laser sight because I'm out of palladium. The laser sight is available. The difference is the laser sight is 0.2% less on accuracy. Okay, the other difference is that the recon laser sight marks enemies. This is also a stat that doesn't show up over here. If you're using the recon laser sight, if you aim at an enemy, it's going to mark them so that you can see them through walls, which is very useful for your close-in weapons and that sort of stuff. It can be useful for scouting when you're at long range. However, what tends to happen is you spot a bunch of enemies through the wall and you can't tell if they're behind a wall or not. So you take a shot at them and it hits the wall because all you see is their outline, not necessarily that they're behind a structure. But here I can probably pick up palladium. So again, you have a couple of options here on how you want to do this. Normally at this point, you're going to have most of these items. So you could use the track button. But again, I don't need adhesive, zero wire, vanadium, so I'm just going to make a list. I need palladium, because I do want to get the recon laser sight on this. The optic, the long scope, is the one that you normally use, and you can see it's really just a big boost in accuracy for the long scope. But I'm short on chlorosilanes here. So I'm putting that on the list. The muzzle, I almost always go for suppressor. The others can offer lower weight, but the suppressor is normally what I use on all of my weapons. Doesn't matter which weapon it is, I am almost always suppressed. So grip and stock, the only one that's available here is the tactical grip. But it is an advantage. The magazine and the battery. So here's where you start looking at a bunch of different types of rounds. So white hot rounds, you can see, add in energy damage. Armor piercing rounds are a damaging round. Large magazine, you can see it doubles the magazine size. I normally don't worry about magazine size on my sniper rifles. Penetrator rounds, that you can see it ups the physical damage from 127 to 139, and this can pass through multiple enemies. So can be very, very useful. The standard and the tactical magazines, it just increases reload speed and or aim down sight speed. I normally in my sniper rifles, again, just go for straight damage. Internal, you get the choice between high powered and high velocity. So the difference really is range. So your high powered keeps your range, but it really ups your damage. The high velocity ups your range, but keeps your damage the same. I don't find that the range matters nearly as much as the damage does when you have a range that's this high. This range stat can matter quite a bit for your close-in weapons, especially for pistols and automatic rifles and that sort of stuff. Doesn't tend to matter as much with sniper rifles, so I go again for straight damage here. And skins, I don't have anything else unlocked for that. So I'm missing a couple of things. I'm missing the recon laser sight, and I'm missing the long scope mod. So I've written those two items down, and I'm good. That is my main long-range sniper rifle. The Beowulf is now a replacement for my Grendel. The Grendel, it shoots fast. It has a decent damage that you can up quite a bit. However, the Beowulf, this Hunter Wolf here, you can see the base damage on the Grendel is 13. The Beowulf beats it in base damage straight off the bat. So I've got another Beowulf in here. Yes, here. This Beowulf here is 36 as a base damage. It doesn't fire as fast, but it does a lot more damage. So 36 physical damage at a fire rate of 50 compared to 170, which is 2.5 times this 2.5 times is you add on 26, a little under 2.5 times. So yeah, this is 3 times the fire rate. So 3 times the damage would be 39. compared to the anti-personnel Beowulf here. And again, I don't have any mods on this yet. Plus, I've got a 10% damage boost against humans, which is not factored into the base rate here. So I normally start scrapping my Grendels, which uses 7.77mm ammo, for Beowulfs instead. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to mod this anti-personnel Beowulf here and do the exact same things. So long barrel ups my range and accuracy. The optic, you don't have a long scope on here, but again, I want to up the medium scope, and now you can see I'm still short on chlorosilanes here, and I've already got that on my list. The muzzle, I'm going to add a suppressor. The grip and stock, again, different grips here than are available on the sniper rifles, so this one's going to up my accuracy. This one's going to up my reload speed and shot stability. So that's a big boost in accuracy. The laser, the foregrip with recon laser sight, again, this marks enemies. So that's the one that you're looking for, and again, that's palladium, which is already on my list. Armor piercing rounds are the damage boost here for this. You can see that adds another 10% damage boost. So here again, high powered is your straight damage boost. The receiver semi-automatic is going to be your highest damage. Your highest single shot damage. So I leave it installed. And then again, don't have any skin. So I'm at the same thing here. The optic and the laser are the things that I need here. And I've already got those things marked on my list. So now in my inventory here, okay. In my inventory here, I can replace a couple of things. So the anti-personnel assassin's Beowulf, I'm going to get in here and start replacing some of these. So the drumbeat I'll leave there, but I no longer need the Old Earth hunting rifle. So I'm going to put the Beowulf here, the commander's hard target. Again, I don't need the Equinox, so I'm going to drop that in there. The mag sniper, I'm going to drop into number 5. And now some of these others, I no longer need this. The Revenant is one of, if not the best weapon in the game. And you can mod legendary weapons. I normally wait until I've built up a few more rounds for it. The 50 MI is not that common around, so whenever you see it in a store, go pick it up, type of thing. So now I've got my main short range, medium range, and extreme long range high damage target weapons to use. So the mag sniper, I'll show you how to use it. It's a little bit different in how you go about using it, but it's still really good. So now here we don't have the helmet mods completely unlocked. So we're going to start with our spacesuit. And here you have 4 slots on the spacesuit. And the slots do somewhat different things, but also do things that are the same. You'll see some overlap in the available mods between them. So in slot 1, you have ballistic, energy, and EM shielding. Basically, straight affects these numbers up here. Okay. Slot 2, you have explosive shielding, which isn't one of these items up here, but this is going to help against a lot of your heavy ammo, your grenade launchers, your mines that are on the ground. Also explosive barrels that are sitting next to you. Optimized servos, it reduces your oxygen cost for sprinting, so you can sprint longer if you have optimized servos. 3, you get exo servos, which increases your melee damage, and heavy shielding, which you can see increases all of the 3 stats in the damage resistances. So if you look at them, it's 100, 116, and 108. If we go back here and we look at ballistic, 100, that's the same. Energy shielding's 116, that's the same, and EM shielding's 108. So you can increase these and also add heavy shielding here and increase them some more on top of that. You're sacrificing exo servos to do it, but if you don't care about melee damage, then heavy shielding is a good way to go. Now again, you need those same unique items to craft it that we don't have. And then slot 4, you have gravitic composites, which is a stealth item. It reduces or adds to your stealth factor and makes you harder to detect when you're in hiding. And pocketed increases your carrying capacity. Okay, so I tend to spend a lot of time in gravitic composites because I'm sneaking a lot when I'm moving around. You're also going to pick up something from the Ryujin questline, which we're going to start next live stream, which is going to help with that. It's quite a bit. It's almost at the very end of the Ryujin questline before you get it, but it adds a big bonus to your stealth capabilities. So this works well with it. Pocketed. I can actually show you what pocketed does. So right now our current carrying capacity is 155. If we add pocketed here on this is going to increase our carrying capacity. It takes it to 160. This is why I don't tend to try and focus on mods or individual pieces of clothing that offer increased carrying capacity. It's just not enough. 5 additional carrying capacity is nothing. That is not even the ability to pick up 1 of certain types of weapons. You can't even pick up an Equinox for that. So pocketed is really a mod that you should just avoid in slot number 4. That's why I spend all of my time with gravitic composites, simply because pocketed is just useless. The whole carry weight system in this game, and this is a big complaint on the forums, just doesn't really work. The additions to carry weight with mods or with clothing are just useless. If it would up that by 30 or something like that, then it would become useful. But 5, it doesn't make any sense. In here, heavy shielding is always what I end up going with on my armor, just to increase my damage resistances. And then what I normally do in here is optimize servos. I don't really care that much about explosive damage. But I sprint and use my oxygen all the time. Here, I normally pick one of the three, and for me, it doesn't matter which of the three I pick. The reason for it is that if I go to the helmet and I look at slot 1, I can pick the same thing. So whatever I picked on the armor, I will pick a different one on the helmet. The pack doesn't have any of that, but now I can get 2 out of the 3 by using a different damage type in slot 1 on both of these 2. And I normally forgo the electromagnetic damage. There aren't many things that that I'm being shot at with EM weapons. It's mostly energy and physical damage that you get. So I normally in slot 1 tend to focus on those. The main thing to look at is that you're going to get a bonus here. So ballistic shielding, you can see it goes from 52 to 56. EM shielding goes from, or energy shielding goes from 50 to 54. So you're adding 4 to the number. Whereas if you look at your spacesuit, ballistic shielding here adds 8 here, and energy shielding adds 8 as well. So you're going to get less overall protection by putting the mod on the helmet than you do on the armor. So I normally put ballistic shielding on my armor. I add heavy shielding in here, and then I add in energy shielding on the helmet. You get attacked with these two a little bit less than you do physical weapons. So in here you can see I'm short on cosmetics. Okay. So for the pack slots, extra capacity, again, increases your carrying capacity by 10. It's better than 5, but it's still useless. Don't do any of the extra capacity mods on anything. Hazard protection ups all of these numbers here by 5. I don't find that to be extraordinarily useful in my personal playthrough. Oxygen reserve, however, is very useful. Again, 10% oxygen carrying capacity means I can sprint longer, and my oxygen comes back faster when I'm in the air using my boost pack. In slot 2, you have emergency aid or medic. I don't necessarily like emergency aid. It's a panic thing, meaning that if you forget to administer your own health, this will do it for you. I haven't gotten into a whole lot of panic situations in this game where my health I'm just getting wailed on and my health is just getting beat up where I forget to do it. So medic allows all of my health packs to restore more health and do it faster. So this is a bonus to add on top of your medicine skill in your skill tree. Regeneration lets you heal outside of combat. Now this is a relatively slow regeneration. It takes quite a while for your health to come back, and med kits are everywhere. It's not really very useful, in my opinion, compared to medic. And last is your boost pack. There's a lot of content online where you can go look at this. At the end of the day, one boost pack is hands down better than any of the others. and that is the balanced boost pack. There have been a lot of testing done about how long you stay in the air, how much power it uses every time you activate it, and how fast it recharges. And the balanced boost pack beats them all hands down. The skip boost pack is meant to be able to move you forward faster and recharge faster so that you can just move forward but you don't get as high. The balanced boost pack actually does that better. Just straight up better. The power boost pack will allow you to boost higher, but it uses all of the power in the boost pack to do it. The balanced boost pack, you can actually boost up and then boost again and get higher than the power boost pack. The balanced boost pack loses out in only a couple, or in only one or maybe two categories compared to a specific boost pack, but it beats it every other way. It's really the only one that you should be installing on your packs. And then we can put on some helmet mods here. We don't have all of them unlocked, and that's specifically we're missing some down here in slot 4. But again, gravitic composites, we can reduce our detection even more. Here we're out of cosmetics. Or I mean, yeah, out of cosmetics here to be able to put energy shielding on this one. Slot 2, sensor array, and again, explosive shielding. I've already forgone this once. Sensor array lets the red icons that show up on your compass, it lets them show up farther away, which is always useful. In here, you have another option to add heavy shielding on, which is, again, always very useful. It's definitely a way to go for slot 3, and then slot 4, I always go with gravitic composites again. What am I... Oh, I've already got it on. Sorry, I can't use gravitic composites again. It doesn't stack. So I'm not able to select it. I can click on it here, and it won't select it because I've already got it somewhere else. So I can't fully modify all of those, but it does get me some things. And again, we're going to have to come back to this because we don't even have the highest tiers of mods unlocked for the helmet anyway, because we are missing some stuff. So, now we have, you know, kind of set up, and we're utilizing the anti-Xeno spacesuit here. It's simply the best one that we have right now. As our level's now up to 40, and we start finding advanced versions of like the Bounty Hunter spacesuit and that sort of stuff, we're going to be finding armors that have higher base stats. However, Sentinel is a massive boost to this armor. Being able to stand still and have a 75% chance on every hit to cut that damage in half is better than upping the physical damage by 2 times. It's just a great thing here. The auto medic will do the same thing as the auto heal mod, so we don't need to put it on our helmet or on our pack because it's already here. We're taking less damage from alien enemies, which isn't a big deal for us. It doesn't really matter if we have it or not. Armor plated, minus 10% incoming damage on all damage types, minus 15% incoming melee damage. We did get some slightly increased carrying capacity, so the legendary mods here are very, very good. So we're not going to find something better than this for quite a while in this playthrough. If you save scummed and got really good mantis armor like I have in my personal playthrough, then the Mantis armor is what I'm still using. Even at level 58, I'm still using it. Just because I got really, really good mods on it. So here, these are the best mods that we have available to us. So this is the armor that we're going to use. We've upped our weapons. We've modded our weapons. And now we're going to head back and just put the gear on here for critical damage. And I can put all of the resources away. I'm actually going to put the shielded lab outfit away as well. And now we are almost completely done. Like I say, we're just missing that one helmet mod research in here and a little bit of modifications on some items here and there in our weapons and suits. But for now, like I say, I think we spent enough time looking at them. Oh, we did want to see if we could get the scope for this, because this is going to be fairly useless without the scope. So to do that, we need to get palladium and chlor. I forgot about this. I apologize, chat. I've got the list here in front of me of these things that are fairly necessary, and this is one of them.
Scumbags and scavengers.
But you can see what our boost pack does compared to the skip boost pack. Why am I not even able to open doors? Okay. I can open the outland door. Might as well look for
I would never dream of selling. Please do. I hope we have
chlorosilanes
something
and
that
cosmetic in
suits you.
here.
Get it?
And I don't have either one.
Good luck on all your adventures.
It was weird. I couldn't open the door to UC distribution. So hopefully this reloads it.
Chill for a cup of coffee right about now.
It will not open. Oh, the door is bugged. You can see it's partially open right now. That's interesting. So let's head. Let's just fast travel somewhere else. Actually, we may have to leave Jemison entirely, because all of this is one piece that's loaded. Let's just try and reload Jemison here. And you will be able to see kind of how this thing does. So I'm just going to pick a random see if I can see any over here. Yes. So we'll just shoot one of these in the head. We'll see if we can wait for one to stop. Here, hold my breath. One shot. Okay, that's what the hard target is really good at. High damage, single target. $572. Whoop, missed. Okay. and you can still use it without ADSing. So don't think you are limited to just ADSing this. And see, that hit both of them. See, I got 2 damage numbers there because the shot went through one and hit the one behind it. Okay, so the hard target, high damage, single target type weapon. The Beowulf, and again, I can't illustrate it as well without it. Let's go to the Mag Sniper. So the Mag Sniper has 2 fire modes. When you're zoomed in like this, you can just pull the trigger. That only did 210. That was even less than the hard target. So the first time you're using this, you're like, oh, wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. This has a much higher base damage. That's because you have to hold the trigger down and charge this weapon up. So I'm trying to find... I think these are sitting down here in these trees, and I can't see them. Oh, no. There it is, right there. The Apex Parrot Hawk. Okay, now aiming with this is a little hard. So, if you press the trigger and hold it down, you see it starts vibrating. You can hold your breath and let it go. Now that is at extreme long range. So this is where your range stat starts to come into effect. And that's why the damage fall off is less out there. Because I'm now at extreme range. Okay, and aiming with this, especially at this range, is going to be a little hard. But see, that's what you do with the Mag Sniper. You have to hold it down and charge the weapon up. To be able to get full damage out of it. Okay, there's a headshot for 467. That was not a crit. So you can see the increased damage over the Beowulf there. Oh, there he is right there. Okay, so missed. He's going to come flying toward me. So there's the Beowulf just with iron sights, and you can see even at that extreme range, I'm still hitting really hard, and I'm hitting for quite a bit of damage. So those are the weapons that I use. This is my up close and personal, the hard target for medium range, high damage, and then Mag Sniper just for bosses and that sort of stuff that I'm going to be fighting. So now let's head back to the commercial district and see if UC Distribution's door is unbugged. If it is, we will quickly craft the mods on the Beowulf.
We're hiring if you're interested. Ask in the security office.
And we will be able to start a new quest line. So we need...
Bulk items may require multiple levels of approval. Welcome to UC...
Palladium,
I hope we have what you
chlorosalanes, and cosmetic. There's cosmetic. There's chlorosalanes. And we need palladium. Perfect. I'm just going to pick up some more polymer as well.
Right. Come back if you need something else.
And you know what? We will try... You can see how much farther I can boost and stay in the air with the balance boost pack. It's really not even close. We'll try one more time. Last time, I promise. So the input that I've gotten is that people are very interested in the Ryujin Industries questline. It's quite interesting. It plays into a lot of my playstyle very well with the sneaking around mechanic. It is, however, one of those quest lines that's a little hard to play on stream. Just because, like I said, on stream, I don't save scum my games. However, the stealth mechanic in this game is a little buggy, in my opinion. Being able to be seen through walls when you shouldn't be, and that sort of stuff. So it means I have to quick save and reload
Get it?
on some of them. And I still don't have it. So we're done. We're done messing with it.
See you around.
Which I don't like to do on stream. But there's really no way around it on some of those missions, because if you get caught, your mission is just pretty much over. Hey Juggernog, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. If you have any questions, let me know. So we'll head back to the lodge and we'll craft these last few items, or last few mods. And we'll be able to head out. And we will start the Ryujin questline. I think based on the time, we should have about 30 minutes left in the stream to be able to start it. The first few missions are fairly short, straightforward, easy missions to do, so we should be able to, in 30 minutes, get through at least one of them. Okay, so we'll head down here, craft these last few mods, and we'll be done. So here we need the scope. So, oh yeah, I put all of my crafting materials away. For the Beowulf, we need an optic, and I always go for the medium scope here. And then we wanted... No, I think this one... Oh, yeah, it was the laser here. The foregrip with recon laser sight, so I can mark my enemies. And I think that was it on the Beowulf. Yes. So the hard target... We need, again, the recon laser sight so we can mark our targets. And I think that was it. Yes. Okay, and then the mag sniper. We already have the recon laser sight here. We wanted the long scope. We're short on adhesive. Not too worried about that, though. Oh, we didn't mod this. That's why. That's why. I was like, why am I short on some of these? Yeah, because we didn't mod this. We just left the mods on it that were here. That's why we don't have mods in a bunch of these spots. I don't normally use this thing very often. I can mod that off stream. Okay, so we want to put all of our crafting items, all of our resources back in here, so we're not carrying them. And now we are good to go again. Okay, so on our skills, we have some skill points saved up here, right? So here we've unlocked up through level 3. We don't really need rank 4 in this. Occasionally not costing resources really isn't a big deal when you're crafting mods. So now we can start looking at some of the other things to help us out, and boost pack training is one of them. We're going to up this, so using the boost pack expends less fuel. All you have to do is jump 25 times while in combat. That's easy to have happen to get up the next rank. Once you get this up to rank 4, you're going to be able to stay in the air almost 100% of the time with the balanced boost pack. Then I'm going to focus on things here to up my weapon damage. Now, the way I play, I use ballistic long-range weapons. So things that are going to benefit me are ballistics. I do 10% more damage. All I have to do is now get kills with it. And as I do that, as I up this again, I'm going to start going into rifle certification. Rifle will do more damage with rifles, which all of them are. Once I've added enough points into rifles, I'm going to go for sniper certification, because then my scoped weapons, which I always use the scopes on them, I get damage bonuses, I have less sway, and I can hold my breath longer. And then once I've got that done, I can go into sharpshooting, which increases headshot damage, critical damage to various different places, but increasing all critical damage. So this is the tree that I go into: ballistics, rifles, sniper certification, and sharpshooting. Once I've gotten those points used, you can start going into things like armor penetration, where you ignore armor and that sort of stuff. Marksmanship also increases your hit chance for non-automatic weapons, which all of my weapons are semi-auto, so I benefit from this. Just the critical hit chance at the lower levels is pretty small. You really have to up this quite a bit. And level 4, if you use a scope, you can knock down enemies when you shoot them twice. So can again be very, very useful. So, but ballistics, rifle, sniper, sharpshooting, and then start looking at marksmanship and armor penetration and that sort of stuff. But again, you quickly run out of skill points while you're doing that. And then physical, here we can start putting some points into. So fitness, weightlifting, and wellness are the other ones. We've already maxed out stealth, but fitness gives me 10% more oxygen. Weightlifting, you can see we can add up to 100 kilograms. That is very useful. 10, not so much. 25 starts to become useful. 50 and 100, absolutely. So going this way instead of putting pockets mods on your armor is the way to go. Don't add carrying capacity to your armor or your pack or anything like that. Do it through this skill tree. And then wellness simply straight increases your health pool. And now all the times that I'm using my heal packs to get level 4 of my medicine skill, I'm also going to be advancing the wellness stat. For weightlifting, you just have to sprint while you're at 75% or more. That includes when you're overloaded. So I do that a lot. When I finish a mission and I'm overloaded and I have to sprint back to my ship before I can travel anywhere. So this goes pretty quickly. Fitness is the same way because you use up all your oxygen when you do that. So these two kind of work together with each other. So I'm going to hold off on the rest of my points until I kill 20 enemies and can up ballistics and start upping rifle certification as well. So now we're going to, for the last 30 minutes here, jump into the Ryujin questline. And if we look at our quest, that's the Back to the Grind quest here. You unlock this just by walking past any Ryujin Industries kiosk. There's one here in Jemison, there's one in Neon, they're all over the place. So you probably already picked this quest line up while you're just walking around. And all you have to do to start off with is just go to any kiosk, but we're going to do that at Neon. Because that's where Ryujin Industries is based. Okay, let's not, I guess. Let's go back here first. This is right outside. And I can't remember. I think it's in... It's here. I think it's right by the vendor. Is where the kiosk is. Right over there. Okay, it's not. I must have been confusing it with the Galbank kiosk.
I only fly on
Thought it was right over here. Somebody in chat, I know I can see it in my head. Somebody in chat, if you know exactly which district it's in, let me know. Otherwise, it's just going to take me a little bit of jumping around here to find it. I don't think it's here. I think it's farther down this way. There it is. It's right there.
They were gonna give our
You can see it, but it's got the red symbol underneath it. Okay, and you want to fill out a job application. Now, it does not matter what you submit here for your questions. All it's going to do is lead to more interesting dialogue when you get to the interview. So it doesn't matter what you select for any of these. Okay, and now you have to go to Neon on Voli Alpha. So I was wondering why it wasn't showing that as a quest marker, but I guess you have to go to the... you have to go fill it out first. Wait, is that quest not active? Is that why I'm not seeing it? No, it's not active. No wonder I couldn't see the marker. I was like, why is Neon not highlighted by a blue marker? So the Ryujin Industries questline is kind of like your Thieves Guild in Skyrim questline. It's a whole lot of sneaking around. You can make some choices, especially in the end game of this questline, that means that you also unlock, instead of just being able to sneak around, you can just go kill everything. So it turns into more like the Dark Brotherhood questline
Welcome to
type of
Ryujin
thing in
Industries.
Skyrim.
Can I help you?
And we can check in with Lane Garza here. It's an optional.
You must be one of the candidates that Imogene Salzo is interviewing today. Her office is down the hallway to my left. Take another left at the conference room, follow it around to the right and up a small flight of stairs. Then take a left and keep heading that way until you see her office. Sounds like a maze, right? So if you want me to walk you back there or have any questions, just let me know.
Okay, so you can get some questions asked here. It doesn't matter if you do it. You can have him show you the way.
Great. Well,
But again,
good luck then.
doesn't really
I'm sure
matter.
I'll see you on your way out.
And Imogene Salzo's office, his directions make it sound like it's hard. It really isn't.
I hope you're more prepared than the last one. Have a seat.
Okay, she tells you to have a seat.
All right, just to get a few things straight here. I'm Imogen Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist here at Ryujin Industries. I don't normally do this, but my counterpart, Yuko, is indisposed at the moment, so here I am. We're looking for someone to fill an entry-level administrative position. Apparently, our algorithm has failed us and believes you to be a decent match, which I'll take up with our technicians later. So, let's get this over with. Why do you want to work for Ryujin Industries?
Okay, and these choices here are in part based upon the answers that you gave during the interview process. But again, none of these really matter.
An excellent question, especially since when asked how familiar you were with Ryujin, you answered, not at all. I'm sure you just did your homework before the appointment, right? But let's move on. This next one should be interesting, considering you marked having 0 experience and no education. Why do you consider yourself qualified for a job like this?
The persuasion here is not a persuasion option. It's because I have points in the persuasion skill that dialogue option pops up.
Well, at least you have some skill of value here. If what you say is true, you'll have department heads fighting over you in no time. How motivated are you to succeed? All in, huh? At least that's an attitude we can work with here. And finally, my last question. If you worked here for 5 years, what role would you see yourself in?
Again, none of this matters.
If you can make any deal happen, management is just the tip of the iceberg. So look, since there's a million other things I'd rather be doing than this, not to mention that this isn't even my job, you're hired. On a probationary period, of course. First order. There's a meeting starting soon, and I need you to pick up the coffee order at Terra Brew. Fairly easy, so you shouldn't be able to screw it up. If there's a line, skip it. Tell them you're here for Imogen Salzo, and you should get served right away.
Okay, so we have to go pick up coffee. Standard entry-level stuff here. I do want to look and see so I don't have anything on me. I do want to check my skills real quick. Okay, and persuasion is at 3 of 4, so I have a 30% increased chance of persuading someone. The persuasion skill and the stealth skills are incredibly important during the Ryujin questline. So if you don't have points into these, you need to start putting points in them if you want to be successful in this questline. Otherwise, you're going to be doing a whole lot of killing everything because you haven't been able to hide, or you're going to do a whole lot of killing people because you haven't been able to persuade them to do what you want. And that's going to be illustrated right off the bat here. Okay, so you're gonna hear people complaining
Thanks
about
for
the
choosing
line.
Terra. Hi there. Welcome to Terra Brew. How can I help you? Oh, the Ryujin order. You must be new. What happened to Tomo? Did he finally get that promotion?
I got fired is what happened. And this is the soulless suit they got to replace me.
Tomo, I'm sorry. I know how hard you were working for that promotion.
4 years behind a desk, getting coffee, kissing up to that high and mighty Ularu Chen, just to get replaced by this nobody? Yeah, I bet you are. No one's ever sorry in this business. And now that I've been terminated, it's only a matter of time before they send you after me. So I'm taking matters into my own hands. Believe me, it's either you or me.
Okay, so you have two options on how this plays out here. And this has a tiny effect much later on. If you manage to persuade Tomo, you will encounter him again later on. If you don't and he dies here, then that person you encounter will change into a random individual somewhere else.
You want to talk? I'll tell you what. You get one chance to prove you deserve this job. Change my mind and I'll walk away. Fail, and I think you know where this is headed.
Okay, now there's only 4 bars that you need to persuade him here with. But still, it's never a given that it's going to work. Just like this.
I pull this trigger, you're dead. Nobody wants that.
Okay, so I'm going to try a 2 here and see if we can succeed and get a 1 on the next round.
I'm trying to be reasonable here.
And it
Don't know
failed.
what you're talking about. Looks like I'll be doing Ryujin one last favor after all! I'll make this quick!
Okay, so again, I don't save scum my playthroughs here. So I'm not going to do this again. But feel free to do that yourself if you want to save scum that and try and get Tomo to survive. In this case, we didn't have a choice. We failed our persuasion, so it is what it is. Still need to get the coffee, though.
Well, that just made my day more interesting. Look, I don't want any trouble, but I'd get fired if I didn't call security to get this body out of here. So I'd head back to Ryujin ASAP and let Miss Salzo know if I were you. Long as you do, you've got nothing to worry about.
Now, one of the key tenets that you're going to learn here about Ryujin, and now you see all the civilians have evacuated. One of the key things you're going to learn about Ryujin is that they don't like you killing people and causing attention. One of their core tenets is that you do everything in silence and you don't draw attention to them. So being able to persuade, I think we got really unlucky with 2 of those roles there. But again, it is what it is. So expect if you end up killing people that you're going to either take a penalty in your payouts when you get into the mission section of this, or you're going to get a tongue lashing from whoever you're reporting to for it.
I hope that coffee is still hot considering the time it took you to get it. You either need to learn this city or how to deal with distractions. So, what was the holdup?
She already knows what happened, so don't try and cover it up.
Good answer. And the one I was hoping for, since we learned of the incident before your return. Your handling of the Tomo situation has caught some attention, and we'd like to try you out in a different role at the company. And since Yuko isn't here to object, your new position starts right now. So, congratulations. You've been promoted. Not bad for your first day, right? You say that now, but let's move on to the details. I'm promoting you to Junior Operative. The position is a bit more complicated and completely confidential. Your main duty is to add influence when necessary to ensure success of the business. Any questions so far? In any case where a threat to success is established, one of us is sent out to create a more desired outcome. This may be through a conversation or presenting some new information. It's all very situational, as you'll soon see. Well, it depends on the job, really. If someone can't be persuaded with words, perhaps a more forceful approach is necessary. You're basically removing obstacles from the equation. Like any good corporation, we consider what we do here to be a trade secret. If others knew and could mimic our actions, it would take away our edge. Really? Well, this transition may be easier than I thought. Now, let's get that coffee delivered. I'll gladly take mine. And since Yuko's still a no-show, feel free to keep hers. The other recipients are eagerly waiting for you in the conference room.
Okay, so she did tell you that you are occasionally going to have other options, more forceful options to deal with, and that is very true. There are going to be consequences for that, however, when you do it.
Ah, coffee. You'd think we'd want to support our own subsidiary and get tranquility more often, but Terra Brew it is. Terra Brew would be a substantial purchase, but we fully intend to develop the Tranquility brand. Current projections are set to surpass Terra Brew within the next 5 years. Tea-talk aside, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lyndon Calderi, Chief Financial Officer. I'll be the one deducting expenses from your pay every time you manage to screw up. Which, from the sound of it, might be often.
And that's what I meant earlier, is that there are going to be repercussions when you, quote-unquote, screw up. They know that we killed Tomo out there, and he commented that you've made a mistake once. It sounds like it's going to happen all the time.
Yes, mistakes are often costly and involve substantial cleanup, both literally and figuratively. Law enforcement, witnesses, evidence, everything has its cost. Good. Then it appears we have nothing left to discuss. This introduction was not annoying. I hope our future encounters are as productive.
Just what I needed. Imogene said she hired someone new. I'm Genevieve, Head of Marketing and Public Relations. Likewise. Anyway, it's good to put a face to the new operative. The only question now is how much work are you going to be? Cleanup, of course. Journalists are pretty quick at putting 2 and 2 together. And I get the pleasure of making sure those connections are never made. Or, if they are, handling the fallout. A few slip-ups are to be expected. Just know that one screw-up for you means a lot of overtime and sleepless nights for me and my team. So, any precautions you can take will be greatly appreciated.
Okay. We're running into quite a few interesting selections here.
Coffee, finally. Well, let's have a look at you. That depends on your actions going forward. I'm Alexis Price, head of the legal department here, and I'll be direct. Any legal troubles you cause as an operative, witnesses, getting arrested, are my troubles. So steer clear of law enforcement. We may have connections with Administrator Bayou and the Freestar Rangers, but they aren't the ones I prefer to abuse. For one, our connections with Bayou automatically grant us a slight connection with the Rangers. He has some amount of influence with his seat on the Council of Governors. But our strongest connection is local, with Ranger Price. Yes, you have quite the history with the Freestar Rangers yourself. Which is why I hope you won't be an issue.
So the game knows that we've already completed the Freestar Rangers questline.
Administrator Bayou runs Neon and is on the Freestar Collective's Council of Governors. We have a long-standing symbiotic relationship due to the contributions that Ryujin Tower brings to Neon. Let's hope your best is good enough.
Okay, and now Camden appears to be bugged because his chair showing is empty. So, up there he is.
So, fetching coffee 1 minute and junior operative the next. Camden Cho, supply chain manager for Ryujin. We won't work together much, but as part of the same department, hopefully I'll be seeing you around. I have the glorious job of keeping all the departments supplied with exactly what they need. Anything from rare materials for R&D to slates and design software for marketing. You could say I'm the one aspect of operations that keeps this department legit. Well, not compared to you field operatives or technicians, but it is a vital role nonetheless. Anyway, welcome to the team. Oh, and just a heads up, people in your position don't typically see the brighter side of Ryujin Industries. But rest assured, this is a great company, and the work we do goes toward benefiting millions. Please do. It's easy to get wrapped up in the bad if that's all you see. Of course, you'll be forming your own opinions as you go. Just keep an open mind. Oh, and thanks for the coffee.
Okay, so easy enough.
I hope you enjoyed your little meet and greet. I thought you'd like to know the execs who you'll be impacting while on the job. That doesn't surprise me. Now that you've met a few of the execs, let's get you started. We've reason to believe that our friends at Kelt Corp are trying to hack into our R&D server, since we're both competing for a contract right now. Hardly. This is the standard run-of-the-mill tactic we've come to expect from them. We can't allow them to win the contract, nor can we allow the action to go unpunished. I'll be giving you a data slate with a file that you'll need to upload through one of their computers. Think of it as a lesson that Kelt Corp gets to learn the hard way. That's up for you to determine. Think of it as the creative aspect of your job. There's always more than one way to get a job done around here. Remember, this is confidential. We can't have anyone at Kelt Corp getting suspicious. When all is said and done, it should be as if you were never there. Here's the data slate. Good luck.
Okay, and as I said, the first few missions here inside the Ryujin questline are really easy. They're basically just run to a location, do something fairly trivial, come back and report about it. And this is one of them. So we won't have a problem completing this in the next 5 minutes before we run out of time on the stream. So we'll just run down here and take care of it. Now, Kelt Corp is in the tower down here, in the trade tower, so we need to walk in here and take the elevator. If you haven't been inside the trade tower, the Core Kinetics sales place here is a great place to pick up weapons as well. Okay, so now you don't have to do anything here. You're not going to get
Hamza kept pestering me about
requested
his damn
or
slate.
talked to about or anything like that.
Something like that.
The main issue is the fact that there's always just a bunch of people around. Okay, and we need to get onto this computer. So you need to have Digipix, which we do. And you need to be hidden. So all you have to do is be hidden when you access it. So this one is fairly easy here. No, it wasn't. This one goes here. And this one goes here. Okay, you can upload the program. You can read any of this other sort of stuff. Very rarely is it going to be of any use. Okay. And then as long as you're not detected while you were actually trying to hack it, you're fine. So that thing literally, this first mission takes you a couple of minutes, and that's it. And you're going to find that with the first 2 or 3 missions, is that they're really fairly straightforward. If you have even the basics in the stealth skill there, you should be fairly secure in doing it. I obviously have upped my stealth skill to the max, so for me it's going to be even easier. But that one's just patience. You just have to wait until people walk around and are not facing you when you're getting ready to hack the terminal. So you're going to find that a lot here, is that there's a lot of patience involved because of the stealth mechanic. Now, if you get caught while you're picking it, you can still upload the program. You're going to get caught and you're going to have to run away from the security guards. And then when you get back here, you're going to take a pay cut.
Well, look who survived their first assignment. How'd it go? Anything to report?
I know what you mean, but that's your...
Not a single setback. Huh. I knew you were going to be perfect for this job. If you recall, setbacks mean a lot of things for a lot of people. Payoffs, cover stories, cleanup crews. You get my drift. The cleaner your work, the more intact your payments stay. I'm sure you understand. Exactly. In the meantime, I'll make sure that slate is properly disposed of. So, now that we know you're capable of handling some light cyber mischief, let's try your hand at a little framing. One of our subsidiaries, Arboron, is currently competing for a contract against Laredo. Now, the buyer likes to keep their associations clean, and will be sending a representative to Laredo in Aquila City for an evaluation. We just need you to visit their office first and accidentally leave behind some incriminating evidence against their company. We want a clean and careful job. Obviously, we don't want any bad press at this point, or we could lose the deal. I don't want to hear any news about bounties or bodies coming out of Aquila City. The inspection will be similar to an audit. These things are usually pretty thorough. Filing cabinets, desks. I trust you can be smart about it. Good. This one should be easy to pull off. Laredo has their own building, unlike CaltCorp, so at least there's only a single layer of security to deal with. Here's the slate we need you to plant. It holds confidential files that'll cast the perfect negative light on our friends at Laredo. Now, get going.
Okay, so again, you get the little hint there that it's always good to read the additional dialogue options before your mission starts, just to know if there are any special things to be aware of or to take care of while you're getting ready to go on your mission. But that before we do that mission, that gives us a good spot to save our game, and that gives us a good spot that we're going to pick up with next week. So in between, I'm going to spend a bit of time doing all of that non-engaging gameplay by sitting down and waiting for some crafting materials to come up and finish crafting my weapons. I'll also go out and search around a little bit for some advanced versions of some weapons and see if I can't do that, and kind of just take care of some housekeeping stuff. I will come right back to the same spot and save right exactly where we are, so we can just pick up right at the same point with the Ryujin questline next time. So again, as a reminder, on Saturday we have both of the Baldur's Gate 3 live streams. So if you're interested in that, you'll see the first stream starting at 10 a.m. Central Time and the second stream starting at 2 p.m. Central Time. And you'll see reminders go up a couple of hours before those start, so you can tune in if you'd like. So I think that gets us to a good point. So as always, I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight. Without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.